What is happening, everybody? I hope you've had a good...
back in like 2005, something like that.
I think my first comment was so good. It's Friday Junior.
It's Friday Junior, it's podcast day, it's payday.
And if you come out, do it electrically. Doesn't matter how you feel about the situation.
My name is Raph. We're always before we start the podcast because we just want to talk about it. We want to talk about music, we just share those stories and experience. This is my co-host Carl, aka the Beer Buddy. He is hailing you.
This sort of weird era where they're sort of right in that post-grunge.
Look, you're fighting the good fight in today's world. My war was fought 40 years ago, really.
We are the two dudes who talk music, and we are here. Hey, I'm too quick on that air horn button, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, that is amazing. I love every second of it, dude. Fantastic.
What is going on, everybody? It is me, Reverend Raph, here with Kyle, aka Beer Buddy. We are the two dudes who talk music, and we are here with the first episode for 2024.
It's going to be a good one,
My
dude.
man.
Dude, solid as shit.
How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic, and the band we got on tonight is just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm keen. I'm real
Especially after
keen
the
that
last mishap, when we had them on
Yeah.
the first time. It was
Yeah,
a shit
so
show.
we won't waste too much time here. So basically, this is a band that we had back on in the Twitch days. We had them on the first time back when we were still streaming on Twitch. And for some reason or another, we tried to download the VOD and put it on YouTube. There was no sound. And so the episode is lost to time.
Yep.
So we had to get them back.
Yeah.
Sorry it took so long to get them back on, but it's very appropriate timing because they have a
It is.
brand new song coming out, which will be out by the time you are watching this. So go and listen to it. We got ViperSnatch on for you today. Without further ado, let's get into it. That's good. Thank you very, very much for joining us again. I got to hang on and do that.
I'm going to do the thing.
Got to do the thing. Yes, welcome back, and with sound this time. So everyone will be able to hear what you all have to say. It's very, very unfortunate that we had that issue last time. No, still no idea what happened. Everything was working. It was working with sound on the stream, but for some reason, when we downloaded it off of there, it didn't have the sound on it. So
Nah, filthy.
no idea. Really, really annoyed about that one still, but all good. We got you guys back on now. The first podcast episode of 2024.
And what a way to start.
Brilliant way to start it. How was everyone's Christmas and New Year?
Exhausting. I had got the Christmas COVID.
Oh no! Oh no! That's horrible. You feeling better? You feeling better now? You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm still a bit tired, but yeah.
It's that long COVID, right?
Yeah,
I think she's got long COVID, but
long COVID.
And mine was good. Just like not great to not be at work at the day job,
Mm.
But
Get a little bit of that time off.
short-lived.
Still living it.
Oh, you still off? Oh,
Yeah,
lucky.
to the 15th.
Oh,
Some plans
man.
fell through, so...
I worked twice on Christmas because I am an overnight worker, so I worked at 6 a.m. on Christmas morning and was back at 10 p.m. the same night.
Glutton for punishment.
You make that money.
I did. The Christmas penalty. Hell worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dollar
Awesome.
bills, y'all. Dollar
Yeah.
bills.
Well, let's just take a bit of a look. Let's remind everybody who you guys are, what you had going on. Now, last time when we had y'all on, I think you had just released a song or something. You just released a track.
Yeah.
And you guys had a bunch of gigs lined up. Obviously, there was that big old one at, was it Gladstone or Rockhampton that was supposed to be happening that ended up
It
getting
didn't happen.
canned?
Yeah,
It
it
didn't
got
happen.
canned.
It got canned, unfortunately.
Mute for Metal Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also
Mm.
forgot to tell us that it got canned until like 2 weeks before, but
Oh.
Yeah, like, so what, because I saw it was kind of pretty fine in terms of like announcing that it was cancelled, right?
But we just weren't.
they just didn't I guess we could have picked up on it on social media, but they didn't notify all the bands. I think they were just scrambling to like make sure they cancelled everything and left a few out. But shit happens. It's hopefully they can figure it out down the line, and maybe
they lost a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did see something about that. They were saying they were already going to be out like 10 grand or something, and if they went ahead, there were going to be much more losses. So, I mean, you got to cut your losses like that sometimes. It is always unfortunate when an event is cancelled due to lack of ticket sales. I think that was possibly still a little bit of a hangover effect from what we saw during COVID being much more prevalent.
I agree.
Shows getting canned last minute, bands having to pull out of stuff last minute, people not wanting to purchase tickets for things in case they got COVID and couldn't go. And that's still very much the mentality for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of like, we'll wait until right before and either buy tickets like on the day or within a couple of days prior.
I definitely people that were going to purchase tickets on the door and that sort of thing, but because they didn't have
Yeah, and it makes it challenging. I mean, I've seen a couple of events this week as well get cancelled because of similar situation, and it's always difficult because a lot of the gigs that I've seen up here tend to do great business on the day.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part about it. We just had the exact same thing happen. I'm doing promotional work for a band called Firefly here in Sydney. And they had a boat show lined up. And this thing, I don't know how you couldn't sell pre-sale tickets to it because it was like $30, starts at 8 o'clock at night. It is a Thursday, so that is, I guess, a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
It's a $30 boat cruise around Sydney Harbour with heavy metal. And if you don't like the bands, they had another level with cabaret bands and stuff like that. And if you didn't like that level, on the very top, they had Sydney's own metal Matt spinning on the decks that night.
That's crazy. And they didn't get enough sales.
The thing just got shit canned.
Oh man,
that's so sad.
That does suck.
It is. It's very disappointing, but I mean, as we've said, I think people have to. The people putting the shows on have to make some financial decisions as well, I guess, and it's in some ways it's like, okay, it sends the message that if we want to see these events, we should be pre-buying tickets. It does also lead to a little bit of for some people though, I think there's definitely a sense of, maybe I won't pre-buy because it might just get cancelled. So it's a tricky balance, I think, to strike. And especially we've seen with King Lear's Throne and Bad Luck closing at the Valley down here as well, not that long ago.
Really, really sad.
We're really devo about that. I mean, as a lot of people are. We actually had something lined up in April at Bad Luck. So Kenny also was running that as well, and now I mean, it's fine. We'll find another venue, but it's just sad. Like so sad. It was such a
cool venue.
Yeah, and like King Lear's was our first ever Brisbane show, and like it was just like it was great. We loved it, and now it's gone, and it's just bullshit. It's really sad.
It is, and this is why it's so important to get out and support live music, everyone.
Exactly,
we need you.
That because we're from Rocky, right? So like we are used to not having the support of like a lot. Like I mean, it's getting better, but we're used to we do sort of like if we do local shows, they're very DIY, and majority of the time we're setting them up all ourselves, like providing everything down to like front of house and microphones and doing our own mixing and shit. So, but for me, it was like to see like 2 Brisbane venues that seemed to be doing like, from what I could tell, pretty well. Like, if you can't make it in Brisbane, like, fuck, Yeah. It just was, it's devastating. And like, best of luck to Kenny. We like love him. He's a great guy. Hopefully, he's like, he's doing good. Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
Yeah, shout out to Ken. Ken, hope you're doing all right, buddy. And whatever you do for going forward. But definitely best of luck. I mean, I didn't get a chance to get down to anything at Bad Luck while it was open because it wasn't even open a year, was it?
Man, such a really sick cool venue inside. Like the setup. We just played like one night. We were there to play at the Bright Side with this for this other show, and I went across the road to buy a vape from the 7-Eleven, and Kenny was at the front of King Lear's, and he said, "Oh, do you want to jump on a bill tonight because the like headliners, I think with Flanger Pennies, I think
Flinch Bunnies
had to-
one of them had COVID.
yeah, they had to bail because one of them had COVID and he had like a spare slot, so we just like jumped on.
We grabbed our stuff off the stage at Brightside and then walked across the road and like the stage at Bad Luck.
Yeah. So that was our first and only time playing there, but it's
It
like
was so cool.
such a sick venue, and like the vibes were so good, and sad.
Well, I think that's almost the irony of the tragic irony of what we do, right? And playing music and being in the scene, right? Is that you've got something like COVID that's around that is more prevalent in large gatherings, tight spaces, etc.
Yeah.
And we want more people at these shows. We want more people. We want them to be tightly packed, which increases the risk, which means that people get sick and have to drop out of shows and shows get, and it's just like this vicious pulling in different opposite directions of it. I mean, I went to Good Things and I got so lucky. Lucky because like five people that I was hanging around at Good Things came down with COVID.
Yeah, I saw a lot of.
I didn't.
Really?
So I got off pretty lucky then. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was pretty gnarly. Like I had quite a few people that I was hanging around with came down with it. I just got so like I tested like a half a dozen times once they started popping up with it, and it was nothing. So, but it's just the more people that gather for these events to support them and help them go well, the more risk everyone's kind of putting themselves at, and then that can cause it to sort of dip again because people get sick. It's just it's rough. But don't let it put you off. There is plenty of amazing venues still in around Brisbane, guys.
Oh yeah.
There really is.
I run the risk. I run the gauntlet for a
Yeah.
show any day. Get all
Absolutely.
sweaty.
You can go out
Get
and
all
be safe.
sweaty with your...
Have your hand sanitizer so you're like, doing your things. Wear your mask if you're worried, just take precautions, right? But go get out there if you still can, because there's plenty of amazing live venues still happening, still putting stuff on.
You know what? To be fair, hardcore bands were practicing social distancing long before any of us thought it was cool in mosh pits.
They sure were. And like any Brisbane people watching, like Rock. We live in Rocky. Like we've got maybe 2 venues to choose from that we all have to share. So they're
definitely, and the space definitely.
And the space isn't as good.
Cool.
So definitely go out and support local bands, because like y'all don't know how good you got it, really.
No.
Exactly. There's plenty of spots around. I mean, like you said, this Brightside. I know Tomcat's still going strong, and there's plenty of them around. That are out there giving opportunities to bands, and as long as they're paying people right, then they're worth supporting. So that's really, really important. So what else have you guys been working on since you were on here last? Is there any new music that's been in the works?
Socials
Is
go
there
off,
like
man. It's just
you guys are constantly posting.
So on the socials.
It's because we have a Gen Zer in the band.
I don't shut up ever, in person or on the social media.
Particularly online.
Hey, it's true.
Chronically.
They're very online.
I have a solid screen time of about 12 to 14 hours a day, and including.
I love it.
Look, no.
Living the life.
It's a skill. No, that being said, we actually have a song coming out on my birthday, which is the 9th of January.
Hey, which, hang on, let me look at the dates, let me work this out. So by the time this episode goes up, that song will actually be out.
Yes.
So that's going to be out.
When I drop it out, we'll put the link to the song in the description.
Put the link in the song there. So if you're watching this when it goes live next Thursday the 11th, which is the day it goes live, go and listen to the song. Pause the podcast, go and listen to the song right now, and then come back. And then when the podcast is over, go and listen to the song again.
Yes.
Because I know it's going to be good. I don't have to hear it. I know it's going to be good.
It
is banger.
We put a lot of effort into this one, and like we got it like professionally mixed and mastered and everything. Cost us a fuckload of money, so please listen to it. And we play this song live quite a bit. So anyone who's like seen us play live would have heard us play it before, but it's called Witchcraft Baby. And there's a sneaky little flute solo in it from Kaylee.
There's 2.
Oh, 2.
There's 2.
They did it. We talked about that last time. They did it. Yes.
Did we talk about this last time?
We did. We
Um,
did.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
So we finally got it ready to go, and
We're gonna do it.
yeah, we're gonna do it. And so that's next week. And like you said, it'll be out by the time this happens.
So listen to it now. And if you already listened to it a minute ago when we told you to, listen to it again.
Yes.
Because it's
Yes.
good.
Hey, I might even be a bit cheeky and maybe just slide the song in there constantly while the video's going. I might just
Just put it in a little bit underneath.
put a little bit on there. Just yeah.
Subtlety.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Get it happening in the subconscious while they're listening. You know.
Now we're super proud of this one. It was actually the first song that was written after I joined the band, so it's very special to me. It's my little baby, but of course it was, you know, it's all about babies. But I like it. I'm a bit biased to the flute solos, so
It's always a special thing. It's always a special thing, right? Like, I mean, you know, Nuclear Vision. Yep, plenty of great material, plenty of awesome material that we love playing. But getting a new song out there and playing a new song that we wrote with the current lineup is always exciting. It's just how this stuff goes, right? Like, it's good playing the material. It's cool to play the material that's there. Like, you're in the band because you like what the band's doing, so you like playing the stuff that's already there. But having your own stuff that you've done as well is very special.
Yeah.
very, very special. That's a good one.
Yeah. So other than after that, like we got a few gigs coming up.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody
Rattle off.
So we have the 26th of January in Brisbane at Tomcat.
Yep,
Yeah.
which I am going to make a point to be at that one. I'm going to do everything in my power to get down there for that.
Good.
Look, just in case I've gotten any of this wrong, and I don't think I have, but
Check our socials.
but it's pinned on all of our social media and all that fun stuff. Then on the 27th, we are playing Vinny's Dive Bar on the Gold Coast. The lineup for these shows, love these guys so much.
Is this one with a real dart
So this is
poster?
yes, it is. Yes. So this is Liposuction, Foulface, and Pilot Crisis are playing with us. It's going to be such a fun night. I reckon everyone should be there.
Both shows too. The same lineup for both shows.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Then we are finalising some things in February for another run or two shows down in South Queensland. Still finalising the lineup for that one, I think.
Yeah. We got a local one too before that.
Yes.
Which is on the
13th.
For anyone in Rocky, that's me. Yeah, we're playing at that. We've started a bit of a tradition with our other friends in this, like in the scene, of playing sort of early January this same sort of lineup. So we did it last year and the year before, and we did. I don't know, it's a year now.
I love that, man. No, it's good that you keep that community. Like, it's so. That's what we talked. Yeah, that's keep going.
So it's us, our good friends in Cane Toad, our local band here. Talk Marta, another local band. Burner, another local band. I'm also in Burner. And this time we're very lucky to have the two legends from Gudgeon, who are personally my favourite Queensland band of all time. Have you guys heard of them at all?
No.
They're like a two-piece drum and bass thing, and they're just wild. They're from they're not from Nambour. They're from like, what's the place just where like the Australia Zoo is? What's that?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of up.
So there's Sunny Coast is where they're from. So they're coming. They just jumped on the bill, so they're coming as well. And then we've got the Tomcat and the Vinny's show, and then we're finalising some February gigs in Nambour and Ipswich at Banshee's Bar, and
Then we are also planning a show in April, and this is a very special one for me because my bass teacher is touring Australia. Now, for context, my bass teacher is in Incubus, and she is flying over for that tour, and we're very, very fingers crossed hoping she'll be able to make it to see our show for the first time in person, which would be super duper sick. So that's April 5th. Looking for a venue for that one currently because it was bad luck.
It was meant to be at bad luck.
Yeah.
But at the moment, that's our roster of shows.
And that one confirmed we have Acid Cherry.
Oh, nice.
Liposuction, and Queerbait.
Very nice. That
Nice.
sounds like it's going to be a hell of a show.
That'll
So
be a good show.
I'm sorry, but you just don't get to skim over that bit. Your bass teacher's the bass player in Incubus at the moment?
Yes. So sorry, I really like talking about her. She's amazing.
I love listening about it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I could yap for ages. So Nicole Rose, she used to play for Panic at the Disco. Big old Panic nerd over here, big old emo nerd. She's now touring with Incubus, and yeah, so we're all getting to see him.
Yeah, she's so nice. She gave us all free tickets to this, and I'm not even really like I'm not really like an Incubus fan, but I'm like I'll take the free.
You will be, and I would like to officially announce that I've now joined ViperSnatch, and I shall also be attending the Incubus show.
It's also touring. They're touring with Live, and I love Live.
I could take it or leave it, man. I'll get a bit moist over here, Incubus. Sorry.
Worst band for SEO ever. Worst band for SEO
No,
ever.
I know. It's trying so hard to Google.
Live.
Band.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Live. What?
Live?
Yeah, no.
Just type throwing copper and you'll find it.
Yeah.
My dad had that album.
Dolphins Cry.
Dolphins Cry.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was a banger. I'm also a Live fan. So.
Yeah. So no, it'll be
hey.
those, and I'm just so excited to see my bass teacher again because I haven't seen her since last year. Yeah. So
That's very, very cool though. Like, and it's always nice when someone that you look up to can come and see what you're doing, and they can get that in real time, and you can get that feedback. It's always a very special feeling when you're able to get something like that.
And I think this is the part where I dropped that she's worn ViperSnatch merch on stage in front of 50,000 people while playing with Incubus. So
yeah, she's crazy.
Oh, promotion.
Even better.
She keeps wearing that shirt. I'm
I'll
like,
send you photos. It's great. She's got like
That is-
5 shirts.
Yeah, y'all need to be sharing those photos on your social. You need to be like, yeah, these people know what's up. Like, these people know what's going on.
No, anyway,
Man, that's so cool.
yeah.
that's my ramble about that. I'm glad someone thinks I'm cool because these two are sick of me. That's bloody sick.
That's you got credit.
Hey,
Bob.
look. I mean, we got to, Kyle and I have spent the last 2 weeks geeking out about the fact that we got to interview, the new band, well, the Theftuous, which has got the bass player from Snot in it.
Oh wow!
What's the band called?
Theftuous.
Theftuous.
Okay.
Yeah, just go and check out the last episode on our thing,
Solid.
and we had that on there. But it's a new band from him and guy that used to be in a band called 1 Minute Silence, like new metal band from the UK back in the day and everything. They toured.
Yeah.
You know what the funny thing is? I name drop them now, so I ask people.
Yeah.
It's probably like a 30%, and you got to be tipping into your 40s.
Yeah,
And one of those real hardcore underground.
I mentioned him
metalhead
to
bands.
Brad. Brad knew him. Brad was like, 1 minute silence. Yeah, I love those guys.
That's what I'm
Is
talking
Brad,
about.
is Brad in Nuclear Vision?
Yes.
Yes, we've met him a bunch of times. He's the
He's a
security guard
secchi.
from Heaven. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a set. Yeah, he does a lot of secchi work. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
That's how we met
He's
him.
a bro.
That's how we met him. But yeah, so like the guys at like 1 Minute Silence, they were on like the original Download Festival. They toured with Slipknot and Mudvayne and all them. And so yeah, that just a bunch of people that made connections back then.
Yeah.
They've now kind of come together to do this new thing called Theftuous, and let me tell you, it's killer. It's killer.
Yeah,
I want to give a
so
shout out to them as well because by the time this one goes live, their new song's going to be out. So make sure you go and listen to that one too. But
who knows? We might be able to crawl our way into another follow up after this.
maybe
comes out.
we'll get a follow up.
Might.
We'll see how we go.
They
We'll see
like
how
us,
we go.
hopefully.
So obviously, okay. So new song dropping. Well, will have dropped by the time this comes out. Bunch of gigs in the works.
Yeah.
Promotion in front of 50,000 people because you.
Promotion in front of 50,000 people. Plenty of activity on social media, like all that good stuff.
Busy.
We should have more Instagram followers.
I'm just saying.
It's gone up a lot.
Yeah, it has gone up a lot, honestly.
It's because of my incessant social media presence.
No, but
Yeah.
TikTok's where it's at now, right? Like you got to be
Yes,
posting on TikTok all the time.
followers there? We've got like 4,500 on TikTok, which is pretty right.
That's solid.
That's pretty good.
That's 4,500 more than I have.
I keep these guys will get a message at like the most random time because, as I said earlier, I'm a shift worker, but they'll get a message at 2 a.m. when it's slow at work, and I'll be like, send me videos of this for me to post on TikTok so I can edit, and they just sit in the morning like, what the fuck is this Zoomer on about?
Yeah.
And do you like hound the others to do stupid shit at rehearsals so that you can put those in the thing? Yep.
Yes, I do.
Get in there, and instead of rehearsing, you're like, all right, so we got to do this video idea and this video idea, and this sounds trending, so we have to do something for that, and then we have to do the thing.
Someone's got to keep up with trending sounds, and it's not me.
I only know that that's a thing because we were trying to do it for Skunkbone for a while.
Yeah,
It's just a part of being an artist now.
Unfortunately, you have to be a content creator, which
or you come to me. You buddy promotions.
But yeah, like
that's
something that we've touched on a couple of times in the podcast previously is like the way the industry's changed now, and you can't just be a good musician and band and kind of leave it to the meritocracy, or like you're not just a good band that you find someone that believes in you and is like, yep, I want to manage you and help get you out there. Like you have to be doing it all yourself now. You have to be the content creator, you have to be a video editor, a social media manager, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then once you've done all of that work to build the base, then maybe you can find someone that's going to manage you and take over some of that stuff. But you have to, but by that stage, you're already doing it all, so you know how to do it, so you may as well keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
The only time when you really need to hand it over is when it is becoming too much for you to do. And it's really tough because there's so many bands that are deserving of incredible success that unfortunately are not going to see it because they're just not great with social media.
Yeah.
But
And
when you think about it, it's like a big shift change. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm glad that we're talking about this because what used to be a great musician back in the day used to be the triple threat: sing, dance, act. That used to be the triple threat. And then out of nowhere, it like disappeared. And then it was like management companies and all this stuff were just signing people left, right, and center and going, oh, no, you sing, you just sing.
Yeah.
That's it. And now it's gone back to the whole thing where the whole thing needs to be a big personality. You need to be the triple threat.
But it's not just that though. It's a completely different. It's not like
changes.
It's not like I'm a great performer with lots of charisma and that's what's going to see me through. It's you can be a great performer with lots of charisma, but you need to know how to utilize social media and whether you should use hashtags or not. How many hashtags do you use? What hashtags do you use? How frequently do you post? What time of day do you post? Do I post just text or photos or video or what combination of all of them? What audios are trending online? What types of videos are trending? Is it playthrough videos versus random, hey, come and check out our gig, or random silly videos, or do you make and you see it with bands that post lots of memes, their pages will get really popular because they're posting memes.
Yeah.
And then when they post a music thing, like no one fucking gives a shit.
You get no engagement on that in comparison. We've got a video on TikTok that has 2.2 million views, and it's a photo of our McDonald's order at 1 a.m. after a gig.
Yep.
Whereas we post a video of our new music and it'll get 1,000, 2,000, which is still fantastic.
But that's TikTok. Like TikTok gets a lot.
But see, here's the thing though. When you post that and you got those 2 million views, did you use your music in the background while you had that stuff up there?
No. So it was
that's straight up like that.
Yeah.
That was the easiest one to get the 2.2 million views. And
well, we use the trending sound. See,
you don't know what's gonna blow up till it blows up.
Yeah. And I remember we went through we played a gig in Bundaberg, and we went through a drive-through at like 2 a.m. to get McDonald's afterwards, and the order was like,
it was outrageous.
It was like $82 or some shit.
Mind you, I get a 20% McDonald's discount as a McDonald's manager, so that's 20% with that discount.
And
very fun.
So I said to Kaylee, oh, you know that TikTok trend that's been happening lately? It's like this girl, and she says, if you're not showering after the bar, what are you doing? I said, we should make a TikTok, and then we cut to that McDonald's order, because that's what we're doing after the bar. And Kaylee's like, yeah, that'd be hilarious, and then made it, and next thing, 2.2 million. That's what people want to see.
It's relatable.
So all you got to do the next time you have that idea, it's your music in the video.
We got to put our song in it too. Yeah, that's
all you got to do. And even if you like take a part of the soundbite, that the popular soundbite where it starts, and then just like inject your video right into the end of it, so everyone has no choice.
Yeah, hold them against their will.
True.
Yeah.
They're for the memes, but you're stuck for the music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it can even come down to like the lunacy of it is, it can even come down, whether the video gets pushed or not, can come down to like, did you edit it in the app, or did you edit it, elsewhere, and then it's upload a finished video? Did you use the like this? It's the bullshit, the hoops that you have to jump through that just no one knows about. And okay, look, they want their algorithm to just be a black box, because if everyone knows all the specifics, everyone's just going to game it, right?
Yeah.
So the creators are left in the dark, fucking, just doing whatever they can fucking do. And I'm convinced so many people end up with superstitions about it.
Oh yeah.
That have nothing to do with anything, and they're like, well, okay, so I did this for this particular video, and it did well, so I'm going to do that in for every video, and then some of them, they'll have a couple of them do well, so they're like, it reinforces it for them, and then no matter how many do badly, they won't admit it, because they're like, no, but it did it for those, and then it's totally unrelated to why it actually went thing. The superstitions that come up around it all, and the lack of transparency. And then you have all these people that are like claiming to have the inside track somehow, as if like, okay, well, how do they know? How do they know what's going there? And they'll sit there and they'll go, okay, so, well, I got this email from TikTok, and this is what's going to be happening, and this is what's going to be getting pushed. It's like, how the fuck do you know that? How do I get on this email list to get this email from TikTok that says what's going to be getting pushed? Like, it's just, and this is why you've got a lot of people stepping up into that space of helping bands with promotion and the production of this content, and because there's so much, it really is a full-time job on its own.
It is.
Even just having the time to send your stuff out to people, knowing who to send it to. You find people that have favors that might just get streamlined a bit more, like it's all, as much as it is making music, it's a business. If you want to make it viable. If you just want to sit in your room and jam and put stuff out on the internet, you are more than entitled to do that. You can just do that. You can sit here and stream and just whack away and play music and write music and do whatever you want. Some people make a living off it.
Yeah.
But as far as the band aspect and what we crave and what you desire is that live show, that connection with the crowd, that energy that comes along with it. And in some weird sense of a way, it's like half the fun's the pack up, the load up, the load in, the butterflies in your stomach. You can't get that sitting in a room playing to a bunch of people on the internet.
And look, like for me, for my money, like any other musical projects I do from here on out, like aside from Nuclear Vision, like Nuclear Vision, we're trying to like really, go do stuff, cool shit with that. Trying to make that big, get that big, push that side of it. But literally anything else that I do aside from that, or if that doesn't last after that, is literally just going to be, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm not going to try and like worry about, and I know that's like you shouldn't worry about this stuff, but it's so hard not to.
It is,
like, I'm literally just going to be like, no, I'm just making the music, I'm putting it out. I don't even know if I'm going to make a socials page for it. I'm just going to post about it when I can. And if gigs come up, cool, I'm going to go and play the gigs and have fun. And that's it. Like, I'm literally not going to focus on any business side of it, trying to make any money out of it. If I want to do merch, I'll do it drop shipping so that people can just buy it and it's there and I don't have to fucking worry about it. Like, I'm not going to get fucking CDs printed. I'm not going to do nothing, none of that. It's literally just going to be, I'm doing it purely for the passion of it, and not trying to get it to making a living off of it, because it's not like, it's so much fucking work. And there's so many, and there's only so many times you can try and do it, right? Like, it's like I tried to do it with fucking, bands before Tensions Arise, tried to do it with Tensions Arise, tried to do it with Acid Nip, tried to do it with Skunkbone, trying to do it with Nuclear Vision. I'm like, Like, I'm gonna be 40 in a few years. Like, I can't fucking like
Yeah.
I can't fucking do this shit anymore.
Yeah, look, and this is the weird thing I've noticed, sort of getting back into going to shows and getting really involved in that. Is that I've noticed there's two types of musicians sort of out there at the moment, and it's the ones that are literally like, nah, I'm just going to do this, even if I get to do it local till the day I drop. That's it. And I'm seeing so many age ranges.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you're getting some like older guys with really bad backs and stuff like that. And you just like, they're just like, nah, I save my, like I do bugger all during the week and I'll save my back for it so I can do this. And then I'll destroy myself. And you're just like, cool, look, man, if that's how you want to roll, more power. Like that's one of those dedicated, like all I want to do is play music. Yeah. It doesn't matter in what rhyme, reason, fashion, place, anywhere, as long as I get to trudge my ass up on stage every now and then, I'm happy. I'm at peace. Yeah. My life is sorted out. Then you have the other ones that are just drive and they know it, they eat it, they live it, they breathe it, they're on the socials, they're doing the grind. Trip Sitter are a great example of that. They've just sold out their show in Queensland for their first show for the new year. Like, and they're hungry.
Yeah.
And and you can see the way it shines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing though. It's a good thing, but it's so nice to see that and this is where you're falling into it, Raph. You just want to play, man.
Well, because the thing is, right? Like, I think this is one of the biggest problems in, I'll say, Western society, capitalist society, whatever, having primarily, Western capitalist areas. This idea that pursuing the arts, music, painting, film, theater, video games, whatever, like anything that's considered art like that, or anything creative, we'll say, that if you're trying to do it to make a living or make money off it, then you're not genuinely passionate about it.
Yes.
And if you're genuinely passionate about it, then you shouldn't be trying to make money off of it, because that's selling out or being like cynical, or you're faking your passion about it or whatever. And it's this idea that, like, no, this is just as valid, or should be just as valid of a way to earn a living as any other career. Completely. But it's become so bastardized, and everyone wants, and by so many people trying to take their piece off the artist's work.
Yeah.
That, like, look at the stereotype of like poets, right? This idea that society has, that for a poet to be good, they have to like suffer.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be like, a poet that's doing well for themselves isn't a good poet because they're not suffering. It's like, no, that's such fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's and this, like, it
I don't know when
that's how they get taken advantage of. That's how stuff gets taken advantage of. Like, you see it in video game studios all the time. Like, people that are passionate about a video game and they're like, oh, I love this. I've loved video games my whole life. I want to work on video games. I want to make video games. And then the massive studios take advantage of that to overwork and underpay people, because they're like, well, you're doing your video game. You're making video games. That's your passion, right? You should be happy to do that. And they're exploiting that. And it's what happens at all levels of the music business. And, we've said it before, music and music especially is one of the few industries where the primary product, the music, does not make the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, it used to.
Mm-hmm.
It used to, but as time's gone on, it's just made more and more money for everybody else, and now it's music. Music itself has become so devalued. It's everything around it. It's playing shows if you can manage to organize to play them for a profit. It's selling merch if you can manage to make a profit, a reasonable profit on the merch by selling enough.
And it's buying shit merch and selling it at exorbitant prices too. People do that.
Yeah,
big bands do that.
Big bands do it. We don't. We got good
buy
shit.
nice.
But like, I remember I went to a show with my partner. We went to Immortal. He likes them. I'm not a huge fan, but I went in support. And their merch was so crappy, man. And they were charging like $50 for like
oh my god.
No, $40 for a t-shirt, $55 for like a long sleeve.
I paid $50 for a cap at Good Things Festival.
I thought that was horrendous. I was like,
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I don't mind paying $50, right? I paid $50 for a corn hat. I'll show you the hat. I was going to wear it tonight, but the thing's so fucking disgusting. I won't wear it on stream.
But
Get it
like,
out.
but like you look at, like I went to see when
Yeah.
the Who toured, like that Mongolian band, right?
Yes.
They toured, and okay, their shirts were reasonable quality, but they were $60 for a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I stomached that is because there's 8 of the fuckers.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fair.
There's fucking
That's-
8. There's fucking 8 of them in the band, and I'm like,
Someone needs to.
well, you gotta, yeah, like okay, I kind of like $60. I don't think is that unreasonable when they've probably had to either ship it a fair way or get it made
Yeah.
just for this tour. And there's like 8 of them in the band, and you got to deal with 8 people plus
Yeah.
crew instead of like, this isn't like a trio that's running on a small fucking thing. This is like
Yeah.
8 people transfer. And look, they're using traditional Mongolian instruments for half of them, and so they're probably extremely fragile and expensive and difficult
Yeah.
to
Just
replace.
to get.
So take a lot of packaging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, and maybe that's me just trying to justify the high price of a t-shirt in my
No,
head.
I
I don't
think
fucking
that's
know.
I mean, like honestly, I think like $40 for a t-shirt's fine, but the quality was terrible.
Yeah, the quality has to be there for sure.
Well, there was like the like print was like as if it's like an iron-on print. It was so fucked. I was like, this is like an international black metal band.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the fuck, what is
Well,
this?
Yeah,
because
man.
I thought about it the other day, and I realized that the Skunk Bone t-shirts, right? Like we were flogging those for $25,
Yeah.
right? And that was like making maybe $5 profit per t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, and that was if we sold them at that price, and we didn't sell them all at that price. And you know, they were like, sometimes you put them on discount just to get rid of the last of them, and that,
Yeah.
then you're making a loss, and that eats into any profit you made before, and blah blah blah. But I was thinking about it, and I realized that if I went back 10, 11, 12 years ago, that's what we were selling t-shirts for.
Yep.
Yeah.
With tensions arise. We were selling the t-shirts for
100%.
$25,
That's what
20,
we were.
$25. And like, and I'm just looking at it, and I see people at local bands at shows. Yes, they're charging like $30. I'm like, okay, 30. Like, yeah, if it's a decent t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about Nuclear Vision shirts, right? And Brad's like, yeah, we're selling for like 35, 40, and I'm like, instantly like recoiling at that because I'm like still in the mindset of 12
Yeah.
years ago.
Yep.
And when $25 was like kind of a cap, that was like, I'm like, that's like a high thing for that, and it's like. But I keep, you got to like have to change your mindset about this stuff now, and it's like, no, well, that's what people are selling them for. But then you do still get a lot of bands that are selling them for $25, and you're like, well,
Well, if they've
I
made
can't compete with that.
Yeah. If you make
You can though,
DIY.
because people are picky now with the way it's like they'll touch the shirt
Yeah.
straight away. They're like, "Can I see the shirt first?" And
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's where you
I'm
like
a bit like
that's,
that.
that's where if you've got a bit of money there, you can do what Dark Cell did. You can invest in like some t-shirt presses and literally make them yourself. And long term, like short term, yes, that's a heavy investment, but long term, if you're doing a lot of touring and making a lot of shirts and you want to have the freedom to do lots of different designs or experiment with small runs of shirts and see if they do well, so you're going to make more of them and things like it's a great thing. It's a really smart way to do it if you've got the money to put up front with it.
Yeah.
But this comes back to just everything's about having the money to experiment and try different things.
And the
Like,
worst
I saw a
part-
great-
and you get a big problem when everyone thinks that artists don't deserve to get paid. Going back to
Yeah.
what you said before,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, these people are basically they're tradespeople of their instruments. They've worked
Yep.
hard.
Yeah.
They've spent hours and hours mastering their craft. And who are you to turn around and say that they don't deserve to get paid for mastering that and making you feel
Yeah.
good?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I
Exactly.
agree.
I mean, and this is where like I heard a great analogy a little while ago, and I may have said it on a previous episode of the podcast. I'm not sure, but basically, the analogy is something to the effect of if you imagine like a dart, that game at the carnival, right, where you got to throw a dart and pop a balloon to win a prize. Yeah, like everyone's been to a carnival, you've seen that game.
Yep.
If you imagine that as taking shots at launching a business, starting a band, whatever, like trying to get your endeavor off the ground, right? You gotta person who's on a extremely limited budget, someone who's, you know, just barely making ends meet, but is extremely passionate about this idea, they might get one shot. They might get one throw. They can only afford to buy one turn on the game, and if they miss, that's it. Like they cannot play anymore. They literally are out of the game. And you got someone who's maybe a bit more middle class. You know, they've got a little bit more to spending money. They might be able to come in and play, I don't know, 3 or 5 shots at it, right? You know, maybe they get lucky. Like, you know, but they've got a few more. If they miss it a couple of times, they've still got a couple of goes to get it. Then you got someone that comes in, like, I don't know, say someone who has inherited a blood money fortune from his family's African mines, and you know, you know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play and play and play and play, and it doesn't matter how many times I miss, I can afford to keep playing until I hit, and then because I've hit, oh, I'm a genius at the game because I got a couple of hits.
It smells a bit musky in here.
It's and look, it's and this is what I mean. Like, it's the same in music. People go, oh, you know, I'll say, people will put posts up about stuff, and I'll like comment that, you know, having the money to make this stuff happen is so essential for success on it a lot of the time. And people will go, well, yeah, it's an investment. You have to put the money in to make it work. It's like, yeah, that's all well and good. A lot of us don't have the fucking money to put it in there. A lot of us don't.
Like, imagine if having money would just make everything so much easier, because we could pay to go and record all of our songs professionally, pay to have all of them mixed really well professionally, pay for promotion on all of them, get really, really good like gig posters made up by like graphic designers, and like all like pay for all the best shit that obviously we're DIYing a lot and paying for what we can, but imagine just having that money. It would just put you like miles ahead with like, and that would be
precisely.
Well, I don't know.
And then
if
the perception is everything,
true.
right? So because you're perceived to have all of the gloss and sheen of that extra level of professionality that comes with being able to buy that stuff.
Paying the Instagram and social media to boost all your posts, like you can just pay those people to put your shit in everybody's face. You can pay for that, and like, you know, people can't afford it, but like that's another thing, that having money, you can just make your music be seen. You can have yourself be seen.
I wish it wasn't that way, but like it is what it is. It's capitalism, baby. Like
unfortunately,
we're in the machine. You know, it's like, what do you do?
And look, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here on some moral high horse like, oh, I wouldn't do that if I had the money to do it. Right. If I had the money to do it, I fucking would. If I had, you know, if I hit the lotto, hit the fucking jackpot on like the lotto tomorrow and win like $100 million, right? Nuclear Vision World Tour.
Exactly.
Like, straight up, I'm funding the whole fucking thing. I'm paying for the whole fucking shit. I'm hiring roadies to come along with it. I'm hiring my friends to be roadies and come along with all this shit. I'm hiring fucking, you know, promotions. I'm buying us on fucking, you know, all the radio interviews on all this stuff. I'm paying for like a fucking, you know, I'm paying for like fucking, I don't know, let's have a look, like Slaughter to Prevail to be the fucking headliner or something. I'm doing all of that, right? I'm not out here going, oh no, it's like morally wrong, so even if I had the money I wouldn't do it. If I had the money I would fucking do it.
The system is morally wrong.
Yeah,
you have to play games with money. Like that's
the system. Yeah, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
So we actually were talking about this earlier. We had a bigger band say to us, oh, you guys would do amazing in Europe and South America. And we were like, yeah, we would. How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
How's that going to happen?
You got money?
And you see this all the time. You see this all the time. You see this so many Aussie bands. They'll go over and they'll play like the Europe festivals. You know, they'll go over there and it's like Caligula's Horse. We saw that. Like they went over there and they were doing this you know, European tour, and they were getting huge things. Who's that band? There's a band. I'm trying to remember who they are. Kyle, you probably know them. They were bigger around like the Sydney. They were one of the bigger bands from like back in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Dawn Heist?
Yes, Dawn Heist. That's it. See, I didn't even need to say the name. I did not even need to say the name. I fucking think. And they would go over.
They were the ones.
They went over to Europe and they were playing on festivals in front of like 5 figures of people. Like tens of thousands of people they were playing on. Then they come back to Australia and they can't get 100 people in a fucking pub.
Crazy.
Like, this is just the Yeah, this is what we mean when we talk about how limiting doing this
Yeah.
niche style in such a small
Mhm.
country is.
This is where our game as a community needs to change. We
Yep.
can't use those excuses no more. We have the internet at our heads. You have the opportunity to bring out content 24 hours a day. At the end of the day, it's like the whole thing. If don't bring the mountain to Muhammad kind of deal. Do you know what I mean? If you can't go to the mountain, bring the mountain to you. At the
Yeah,
end of
but
the day,
I
and look,
gotta disagree with you a little bit on this, dude. You know I love you, and I know we see
I
eye to eye
know.
on a lot of stuff, but I gotta say, no amount of content is gonna get bans to South
Yeah,
Africa. No amount of content
Listen,
is gonna get bans to Europe.
I agree with
that's
both
true.
of you. I think there's a real need to, how do I say it? There's a real need to be good at content, even
Yes.
when you're in a band. I look at my partner's band, right, Cane Toad. They are a sick band. They're all really talented musicians. They write and record all their shit themselves. But they fucking suck at promoting themselves. Like they'll make a post every 6 months on Instagram, and when they have a gig, but they're never ever doing anything else. And I don't think they really care or have a want for it, but they could be doing a lot more if they wanted to. I don't think they really do want to. I think they're happy with.
Hey, at the end of the day, if tomorrow they got asked on a bill for some massive band that they love, they'd say yes. You know what I mean? Everybody wants it. It's just how far you're willing to go to get it, I guess now.
Yeah, but what I mean is like there is a need to be good at social media and do your content creation, but you can't let that step in the way of, like we were saying before, like the end goal is to play live gigs.
Yeah.
Like, and you can content create and promote yourself on the internet till the end of time, but you still have to make sure you can pull people to come see you at the local, you know?
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
Yeah, you want a good mix of both, in my opinion.
Yeah. What is in store in terms of, obviously you got the new song coming out. Is there anything looking towards like an album or an EP, or is the plan just to sort of keep doing just, a song at a time, and just going that way with it? Because obviously the industry's changing and EPs and albums aren't necessarily the way anymore.
Yeah.
What's sort of the plan across the rest of this year beyond this first song and this first little sort of run of shows?
Well, we kind of want to maybe keep getting a mix and higher quality from now on. So it's probably financially going to be more viable to just do one
at a
time and then drop it. And then, like, while we're doing another one, then, there'll be that way, like, for people to enjoy.
Yeah, you get more mileage out of each individual song, whereas if you drop them all at once, it's like, are people going to think there's like a song they like less, but if it's the only one that comes out, it's a bit of a... Yeah. It's such a hard thing to navigate.
We've got a lot of, a
lot of songs.
We're like, I don't know how recent it is, but we've since like May or June, we've become a 3-piece. We used to have have a lead guitarist who's since left us. And since then we have written a lot of new stuff. And you guys can weigh in on it too. I feel like our sound, whilst we're still ViperSnatch, where it has changed a bit since returning to a 3-piece sort of dynamic. It's sort of, in my opinion, it's sort of more like Right Girl, sort of like faster. I don't know.
We've definitely evolved, and I'm personally enjoying the music.
Just polishing, but we always just do whatever we want.
We do whatever we want, but I think because of that, we're writing a lot more. So we do have, like, obviously Witchcraft comes out when this is out, but we've got, like, I don't know, like another 6 in the chamber that we, like, really
we're constantly saying, and after our last Brisbane show, I had some people that had seen us for the first time, and they came up to me afterwards and they were like, dude, when the hell can I find this on streaming services?
Therapy. Everyone wants therapy. And it's a new one, but we got to record it. So I think, we're going to probably, hopefully maybe Therapy will be the next one we try and record.
I want to record Slut. We have a song called Slut.
Slut's a banger.
I want to record real bad one.
But
Look at
so
that.
one song
Excited to be busy.
Very busy. We just got to line it up, like, because, like I said, our friend Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy, he's a total legend. he who does all the recordings for us, and then like just gives us the the stems, and then we send them off to get mixed and mastered. So it's about lining up a good time, and he's a teacher, so he doesn't get, he's only sort of got time where he's on school holidays that we can do that with him. So yeah, it's just do it when we can, really.
It's all just finding the time, because especially we all work. I live an hour and a half away from these guys. You know, just
Kaylee lives in Gladstone.
Bloody Gladstone. Absolute weapon of a place. And like today, I drove an hour and a half to be here because we wanted to be in the same room, so it would be for you.
Awesome.
Very, very appreciative of that. It's always, we always like to know that, our guests are, like we like to put the effort in to try and make this as seamless as possible for everybody, and as comfortable and easy as possible for everybody. And to have, it's always nice when guests sort of want to try and make that experience for us really cool as well, right? Like it's a two-way street, and it helps to be really good. And like I said, like last time we had you guys on, it was like the conversation was so effortless, and it's a shame that so many people missed out on seeing that one because of the audio issues that we had.
There's a couple of people watching live though.
We had some watching live, which was very cool as well. Cool as well. I just realized as well though, Kyle, now that ViperSnatch is a 3-piece, they can be on the 3-piece feed tour.
What?
Okay.
So Kyle's got this idea. Kyle's got this idea of all 3 pieces, right? So he's got a few in mind that he wants to pull together, that we're all big fans of, and he's like wants to call it the 3-piece feed tour, and do like a whole like Australia or like up and down the East Coast or whatever, and just get all 3 pieces on it, 3-piece feed tour, and just have it go hard to just show people that 3 pieces are 3 pieces can be as good or better as 4 or 5-piece bands, and you sometimes get really innovative combinations, or you get you get them doing interesting stuff because they've got to find ways to fill the sonic space or to present it. And sometimes they don't fill the sonic space, and it's a very minimalist presentation. Sometimes you'll have like the drums and bass doing lots of interesting stuff to fill in that space underneath the guitar there. Sometimes you'll have something like Sin Soto, where there's not even a bass in it. It's just like they've got guitar, singer, and drums.
Touch of a finger.
And like and then you've got just so many incredible unique combinations out there. And so,
in my opinion, I think we've gotten more cohesive and heavier since we've been a 3-piece. So
because you know what it is though. I think a key element for that too is being a 3-piece it's a lot easier to get tight. And when everyone's tight, that is a big part of it being heavy.
Agreed.
It's a big part of it being heavy, and it's an overlooked part of it. A lot of the time, people don't consider how being tight can really contribute to that. And people that take the extra steps to ensure that their performance is always on point and always tight, just it makes so much difference. And the audience doesn't have to know how you're doing it or why you're doing it. All the audience cares about is that it sounds that much better. And it's such an important aspect.
Best compliments you can give a live band after a show. You just walk up to them. If you don't know what to say, just go, "Man, you're tight," and that's it. You'll make their day.
Because here's the thing. Right? This is something when I was studying music like 20 odd years ago that's really stuck with me. One of the teachers had a saying that was literally just, "If it's tight, it'll be all right." Which is if you're tight, you can be a little bit out of tune, and it's not going to really matter that much. If you're tight, maybe the like singer's a bit off key, or you're not giving the best the best you're not giving the best like most charismatic performance of that night, but the performance is really tight. You're in sync with each other, and that vibe that the group gets amongst one another, it really is greater than the sum of its parts. And it's like this psychic vibe that transmits out into the crowd, because when having done it, like when you're in the band and you're on point and you know you're in the pocket, that feels good, and it makes everyone in the band feel good.
Yeah.
It makes you all just feel really excited about what you're doing, and that's something that's like, that's an intangible, right? Like there's no way to quantify that or qualify.
Well,
But
that's where we're at now together as a group. I think our group chemistry and stage presence,
stage
just like
presence has
playing
evolved so
together
much.
is
Mm.
and I think everybody can tell when they watch.
Yeah, and that's
We're
so good. Like
we're
I
definitely in
am
the pocket
so
right now.
excited. I'm so excited to finally be able to see you guys in person
Yes.
at on the 26th. I am, like I said, I'm going to make a point of trying to get down for that one.
We
Yes.
did briefly chat about this real quick. Now we do have to throw in that little mention on who recorded you.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
You're right. Yes. Okay. Because we were in, that was in our little break there. So
Yeah.
the recording, you had the recording, but who did the mixing and mastering
Yeah.
for this new song? Because that's not a name that we should pass over.
No.
Yeah.
Carries
Street cred.
credibility.
Yes.
So, as I said, our dear friend Jimmy Asher recorded it at his home, and then we sent it away to a guy named Ivan. He runs a studio called Anthropocide Studios. So he's the guy that mixed and mastered it for us.
Yep.
And it honestly, it sounds
good.
phenomenal. Like, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, other people don't think it's shit, but I think it sounds incredible.
And Homeboy knows what he's doing because he mixes and masters Slaughter to Prevail. So if you can
Yeah,
make that
yeah.
sound good, dang.
We heard the songs that Crave released because we played with them a few years ago.
Yep.
And we were like, oh, let's listen to this band. We'd never heard of them. So we were listening to them in the car on the way to the gig. The gig was in fucking Townsville, of all places. Long drive. But anyway, it was a good gig. And we were like, man, their songs sound so good.
Recordings, yeah.
And so we hit up the drummer and like later on and said, hey, like, where did you guys do this? And they had recorded it locally in Brisbane, but then sent it away to Ivan Anthropocide Studios for the mixing and mastering. So we hit him up, and he did it, and he was quick too. Only took him like a week. Sent us 3.
That comes down to good recording quality.
Yeah,
and
he
good
was
good artists.
Yes, well, yeah.
You make it easy. You make it easy.
Yes, he did. Well, he didn't say that. He said, your files are all good. I'll start working on it. So, yeah.
But that's the thing. Some people don't. A lot of people have this fear of reaching out to make these inquiries, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's something that, again, is it's how you do this cool shit. Is you ask the questions. You reach out. The worst thing that can happen is you get told no.
Yep.
Or you don't get a response, and then you're no worse off than you started, right? Like if you reach out to these people to try and say, hey, we're interested in, this is who we are. We'd like to try and get on this international support. Can you? Here's our stuff. Can you consider us? It's not like they're going to take gigs away from you.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, they're going to either say no or they're not going to give you a response, and then that's a learning opportunity because you can go, okay, why did they say no? Maybe our press kit wasn't good enough, and you can go and work on finding ways to improve that and stuff. Or and it's like when tensions arise. Like one of the things I always credit Kazzy with, shout out to Kazzy, is he would not be afraid to reach out to people, right?
Yeah.
Like we had no right doing half the shit that we did. We got we opened for soil work. We got to go to America and record with Logan Mader of Machine Head purely because we reached out. He reached out. He asked the questions. He's like, "Hey, this is who we are. This is what we're trying to do. If you're into it, let's make something happen." And shit happened. Like with we reached out to Logan. Logan went, "Yeah, I got 2 weeks free about a year from now. It'll cost you this much per song. How many, depending on how many songs you want to do, we can probably get this. If we got 2 weeks, we can probably get up to this many songs done. If you want to do that, let me know. And I'll need my deposit paid by whatever time. And it's like, cool, done. Like if you don't reach out, you don't get. You don't ask, you don't get. It's as simple as that. And you guys were like, you know, you had the connection with Craig.
Yeah.
You were like, "Yo, we really like this," and that's how that shit spreads, right?
Yep.
You go,
Yeah.
this we really like how this stuff came out for you guys. You know, who did it? And then you just reach out to that person. And you go, "Hey, we really like the work you did with these guys. Would you be interested in doing our stuff as well?" And if they've got the time, they'll say, "Sure, here's my rates." And then you're good as gold. If they don't have the time or they're not interested, they'll just say that. And that's the other thing as well is if you know bands, even if you don't know them, but if you're in the scene and whatever and you like how their stuff sounds, ask them who recorded it. Ask them who mixed and mastered it. Because you're going to find that you're going to be able to get a hold of a lot better people that can do the stuff if you ask these questions. And bands are, I promise you, almost no band out here. For anyone else watching, maybe watching this, if you're in a band and you're wanting to, I promise you, almost no bands are going to be gatekeeping this shit. Because most bands want the whole scene to do well.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, this guy did the music really, really, and look, and even if they did it themselves, they'll tell you. And if they're not open to doing it for other people, that's fine. You haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
You've now made a connection with that band, and you might be able to set something else with them down the road because of that connection. So there's literally no negatives to reaching out as long as you do it respectfully, and as long as you're not shitty about it if you get told no.
Yeah.
And if someone gives you a price for their work, that's the price for their work.
Yeah. You don't try and hag.
You don't be a cunt about it. If the budget's not going to work for you, then you just say, look, that's a bit rich for me. Thank you anyway. And then, and then if they're willing to drop their price, when you say that, they might drop their price, they might not. That's entirely on them. But you've just got to, as long as you're doing it appropriately and respectfully, there's literally no downside to it.
I'm coining a new phrase, Raph.
What's that?
Coining a new phrase. You know, us as Australians, we love this one line. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Bands should just ask and find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we do. Bro, we do.
It was
We'd be asking everyone.
real crazy. I went and saw Weezer a few I love Weezer, okay? Look,
Say it ain't so.
they were fantastic. They were a fantastic show. But Regurgitator opened for them. And I'm sitting there seeing Regurgitator play in front of a, packed out room, packed out Brisbane Entertainment Centre. I was like, holy shit, we played with Regurgitator. How sick is that? And that all came from a simple, hey.
Yeah.
What happened?
Somebody,
Yeah. Just reaching out to whoever, and then eventually we snagged something somehow.
Yeah.
And now we've got that,
That's it, and that's how these bands make the connections that get them these, get them all the international supports that so many people get shitty about the same bands getting the international supports all that time.
It's because you didn't ask.
They've made that connection, and then your band's out there not getting it because you didn't fucking ask anybody.
Fuck around and find out. Fuck around, my bands. Stop fucking around.
In a good way. Yeah, the good version of fuck around and find out.
I actually
fluff around.
I spent most of my day today because I worked 6 days in a row, and then I was like, first day off, I'm going to spend it working for the band. And I've been, sending emails out, compiling lists of people I'm going to contact to promote the new song and everything. Because if you don't put in, if you don't ask the questions, you're not going to get your answer. As you've said.
No.
So.
And so a lot of us are millennials and zennials. We're used to being told no. We get told no all the time.
Yeah.
We get told no all the time.
What's
We're
one
used to
more?
the no. What's one more?
It's one more person that's like this guy. We made a video on TikTok today, and this there's a couple of really nice comments. People saying like, "Oh wow," it's like promoting the new song, right? Saying, "Oh, this sounds really great. Can't wait till it comes out." And this one guy made a comment, and he goes, "Hi. I hope you guys don't succeed. Consider this a message from your first hater." And Kaylee commented back and was like, "Lol, that's precious that you think you're our first hater." Like,
oh, that's gold. Join the line, buddy.
join the motherfucker.
You can join the back of the line.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the negative comments also push the algorithm and everything.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you're
More,
gonna be a
please.
dickhead, power to us. So
Yeah. Some of our best videos have been negative review comments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did reaction to what was it? The
Baby
it was a
metal.
baby metal song. The baby metal song they did with Tom Morello, and we were like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's cool, but it's kind of not.
We didn't say
I
the
don't know,
song
it's
was
just not-
bad. We just said it
not
was
grabbing us that much.
meh.
We're like, it's a bit meh for us. Just for us, we're like, it's not dissing anything musically, not doing anything. So many people leaving fucking essays in the comments, like.
Really?
And you could tell, the worst part about it was you could tell the ones that watched the whole video. Because we really make an effort, like we name songs that were better than that song from their catalog, from like different albums.
Yeah, we're like, we more prefer like this kind of vibe or that kind of vibe that they've done, and hey, maybe there's a cultural thing we're missing, maybe there's like language stuff, and it's just, and people would be like leaving fucking berating us because they saw us like make the first comment the first time we paused it, and we're like, it's not really grabbing them, and then like they get there and then just like, boom, fucking pages of shit, and then you see the people that would get to the end and then leave a big fucking thing, and they'd be like, look, yep, you've nailed it. There's a lot of cultural context you're missing. Here's XYZ as to what's going on.
Good comments.
People are obsessed with baby metal. Like people are just so like.
And for all the people.
What about baby metal?
Dude, they're awesome. We love them. And the funny thing was, all we could do for the people that were leaving the negatives was like, hold on, we're fans of baby metal. We love the fact that you're coming to defend them. Keep going.
Yeah. Exactly.
Honestly, what's punk without a bit of controversy? So
exactly. If you're not pissing people off, you're not doing punk right.
Exactly.
Like the recent shit with fucking Green Day. Like, did you guys hear about this?
No.
Okay. Here, let me tell you.
Okay.
Green Day.
Gonna make rap big.
Green Day played a show very recently. I don't know if it was a New Year's thing. It might have been, but they played a show within the last week or so, right? Now, for those of you who are familiar with Green Day's catalog of music, you'll be familiar with an album and a song that they released back in the early 2000s called American Idiot. Contains a line in the song that says, I'm not a part of a redneck agenda. Okay? Now, they were doing a recent performance of that song, and they tweaked that line a little bit. They said, I'm not a part of a MAGA agenda, as in the Make America Great Again movement, the fucking Trump.
Yes.
Right? And the right in America have lost their fucking minds about this.
Who do they think? Who do they think
Isn't that the point?
I'm not by any means like someone that knows a lot about Green Day, but who do they think that? What side do they think Green Day's on?
Especially you see people making posts about Rage Against the Machine, and they say things like, "Oh, they didn't specify what machine they were raging against." Yes, they did. Did you listen to
literally
any of
did.
their songs?
They literally did every single time.
And people are like, and it's just so funny because everyone who actually has, paid the slightest bit of attention to the lyrics in any, especially the lyrics in American Idiot, knows it's a fucking George Bush diss.
Yes.
It's a diss of the fucking, good old George Jr. And like they've been fucking against the right. They've been anti-fascist. They've been very, left-leaning as a band and as individuals, their whole fucking careers.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, go woke, go broke. No, why are they getting political all of a sudden? It's like, bro, did you ever listen? Did you ever listen to anything? Like, and I'm so convinced, it just makes me convinced that so many people just don't. And maybe this is, maybe I don't get it, but maybe I don't get it because I'm a musician and I consume music differently to a non-musician. So many people, I'm just getting more and more convinced, do not listen to lyrics. They are literally like all they're hearing. Like you could get on there and sing it in Simlish with the fucking thing, and they wouldn't notice or care. All they would hear is the melody and the fucking boppy beat, and be like, "Oh, yeah, this fucking thing."
Bro, I can literally speak German. Don't know a word of it. Can sing a shitload of Rammstein songs.
Metallica could release the original demos of all this of a song that's got the wa na 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 nas on it instead of actual lyrics, and no one would fucking care because it's like they just.
Which is
the
so
fucking lunacy of it all.
Don't you think it's funny that Springsteen came out? Don't you remember Springsteen came out? Born in the USA. He's like, that
is not
dude,
a fucking
that was not a
song.
It's not a patriot song. It's a song against the war. You got, but that was like, dude, did you? It literally has so many lines that are talking about how he didn't like the war. Did you not listen to the song? All you heard was born in the USA, and that's all you fucking heard.
and they like play it at like Trump rallies and shit. It's just like so funny.
It's so fun. The humorous thing is that they're using all these things that were anti-establishment in their establishment now.
Yeah.
It's so as someone who is the reason I like the bands I like is because the lyrics mean so much to me, and I just cannot understand how there is a kind of person who listens to music without the lyrics being such a core part of the experience. Of course, everything else is very important as well, but like I've got lyrics to songs I love tattooed all over my body because they changed who I am as a person. You know, lyrics are important. Listen to them.
They are, and look, you know, I listen to plenty of. Like I try and find, if I find like a metal band that's not in English, I love going to listen to that, because for me, and this is where I think that's about as close as I get maybe to experiencing what the average layperson would get listening to this stuff, because I listen to it, and for me it is such a unique experience to not have the lyrics as a factor, to not understand the words that are being spoken as part of it, to just have the voice be literally another melody, another instrument that's presenting a tone or a vibe for the song wordlessly to me, because I don't understand what the lyrics are saying. And I think maybe that's why I gravitate towards that stuff, because being a musician, analyzing lyrics is just such a big part of what I do when I listen to music. It's that thing of like, you know, when you're in high school or like years, and you're doing all these like critical analysis skills in your English classes, and then that fucks your brain up because you can't enjoy anything now without analyzing it and thinking about it, and it's like takes years if you don't continue that with like career-wise. It takes years to get away from that and feel it. And being musicians, we're always in it. We're always in the thick of it. We're always analyzing it. We're always trying to critically, you know, think about stuff and thinking like, oh, how did they get the guitar to sound like that? Or how did they get, you know, that sort of mix there? Or how did the vocalist make that sound with their, you know, with their thing? And like, or how did they sing a note that long, that at that pitch? Like, it just, we don't, it's similar to that thing of like wanting to go back and hear your own songs for the first time. You know, being like, I
have that experience,
and that goes through my head like at least once a week. I'm like, I've made all this music and I love it, but do I love it because I made it? If I could wipe it from my brain and hear it for the first time without being clouded by that experience, how would I feel about it?
I feel that.
And it's fucking terrifying because I don't.
Well, that comes to the point, to any person that ever gets given a bit of music from a musician and you're wondering why they're eye fucking the shit out of you while you're listening to it. It's reason. It's that exact reason. They want to see how you experience it, whether it changes you, whether you absorbed it properly. That's the only reason. So don't think they're staring at you. It's like, what's this person doing looking at me? It's no, because they want to capture that. They want to know what.
Yep. As much as they say, if people share a song with you, it's because it tells you something about them. That goes like tenfold for musicians. If a musician shares a song with you, not one of theirs even necessarily, but if a musician shares a song with you and is like, this is a song that's very special to me, and like, and they're watching, like you said, they're watching you like a hawk when you're listening to it, it's because it tells you a lot about them, and the way you react tells them a lot about you. And there's so many layers to this that it's just like, I'd love to almost get someone on who, you know, is able to like psychoanalyze that aspect of things.
It's like a painter unveiling its painting for the first time. They'll never look at the painting. They'll be looking at the reaction of everyone else in the room of how they react to the painting.
So when we're in a long car trip, we all take turns playing music over the radio, and every single time I've picked the song, I'm staring at these two, just like waiting to see, will they
hopefully
feel
not while you're driving
spiritual connection of this song, like this. It's I totally get me saying that. It's
for musicians,
so deeply.
For musicians especially, sharing songs is a love language. It truly is. It's
and not even for musicians, anyone that loves music. It's the reason why people when they check out this song and they watch you. They
Yeah.
want you to have that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's so hard because like I will hyper fixate on a song for a while, and I'll show everyone that will fucking listen, and then I start to feel like I'm annoying people because I'm like, no, you need like I need you to understand like what it is about this song
Yeah.
that like that grabs me by the throat and is just like, this is the vibe. And trying to get other people to understand that sometimes it feels pointless because music is so personal and no one else is gonna feel the same way.
The rare occasion that someone else feels exactly the same way as you, or they might just be like, yeah, it's cool, but like,
it's like a personal offense to me if I show these guys a song and they're not immediately like, oh my god, falling at my feet, this is the greatest song I've ever heard. Come on, guys.
No, we're not best friends now. That's how you become best friends. It's like when you have that same reaction, it's like we're best friends now. We're kindred spirits. We have this same connection with that song.
I have made many friends through the fact that we've got the same music taste, and because someone else understands what the music is to me.
All right. Yeah. That's how this relationship started.
That's how Kyle and I got working on stuff. It's just like we're on so much of the same wavelength about stuff, and you know, like for me, and this is where I get to like Black Tongue. I showed you that Black Tongue song a while ago on the thing, and I'm just like I can walk around. If I got Black Tongue going in my fucking earbuds, I feel 10 feet tall. I feel monstrous. I feel unfucking stoppable. But then I show other people, like, you know, and they're just like, oh, it's just all breakdowns. I don't. And I'm like,
but that's the point.
I'm like, no, it's not just all breakdown. It's like, it's the degree, like the mastery that first of all, the mastery that goes into mixing something when everything is tuned that low is just, how do you, like, that's a fucking mission in and of itself. So you gotta respect the production there. But, and yeah, and look, and the people that say that, they're never like, it's shit. It's always like, it's just not for me. It's just not my vibe. And the degree of personality, as in how personal it is to each individual, is amazing to me. And that's one of the things that I think I love about music and creative endeavors.
This is a slightly different tangent, but Lily started to say it. We all have such different music tastes in our own personal listening that it's so interesting that when we come together on a song, we have such an aligned vision of what we want a song to say. Plus, of course, everything isn't always going to be sunshine and rainbows. We have a little bit of a, oh no, this would sound better, no, we should do this instead. But
it's ones that are like offended.
But we always, when we get to the end point of that song, it's almost unanimous what it should sound like, which is crazy because I like my emo shit. What are you guys into?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
No, but that's because you're all working to.
You ain't emo, and if you ain't emo, I don't give a rat's ass. But every band's music is literally a Venn diagram of the musical tastes of everyone involved.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And you know, when sometimes there's a lot of overlap, sometimes there's only minimal overlap, but I think that's the best analogy I can come up with. It's just literally like you take a Venn diagram of everyone's interests and you're like, this part in the middle is what the band is.
Because it's the goal. That's the goal.
I'll hear a song that one of us plays and I'm like, oh, that's where that suggestion for this part of this song came from. You know, I can hear the influence. Yeah. You know, I see why you would have suggested that because it sounds sick as hell and you like that song. So
yeah.
And the other thing is you're not trying to like your own music. You're trying to build a vibe around it.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and that takes everyone's input to build this ViperSnatch vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a separate entity in itself in the weirdest sort of way.
Yes.
Even though, and that's the best part about it because you all like such different stuff, but in this weird way, it all comes down to this common goal.
Yeah, I think it reflects in our playing. Like, I think Kaylee plays like a lot of really catchy, sort of like I would say like pop punk bass lines or emo bass lines that are very like Kaylee's super good at like just coming up with a real cool riff. Lily's a songwriter, very influenced. the lyricist, very influenced by the likes of Lana Del Rey and like Mitski and what's that other one you like that you missed out on?
Chelsea Wolfe.
Chelsea Wolfe. So the lyrics, you know, are very like heavy at times, but you're also really good at chord progression writing. And me, like, whilst I like a lot of different kinds of music, but my sort of like go-to when playing drums is like I like real fat sounding like chunky beats and stuff like that, which comes probably from my like love of like punk and like particularly like I love women in punk too, riot girl stuff. So that's where I sort of base my shit from. But then we put it all together and it works.
And it becomes its own unique thing that is greater than the sum of its parts, and it just is one of these. That's when you can, like when you can hit that, like we can thread that that needle when you can really just get it like bang in the spot.
And
it's a magical thing.
Now that we're a 3-piece too, it's like that's what's happening. Like we're just like working together and it's just fitting perfectly. Whereas it's been a while since we've been able to.
So
the song's just all greased up, ready to go.
It's in the ViperSnatch machine.
Yeah. The songs just flow though. You know, once we get started on a song, it will be finished. You know, to a probably 80-90% of a degree that day. You know,
that kind of roll.
It's
like everything you touch is turned to gold.
And sometimes that can only happen with a 3-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got like when you've got
work together really well now. Just we know what we're all doing together and what our roles and what we bring to the table or whatever. Like I don't know. It's insane.
Also, there's no like no one's like sort of like threatened. Like I wrote like the bass line for a new song, and then I was like, I have this, and these guys were like, let's do it. There's no like.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight Riley for the fact that.
But you're not meant to be playing bass. You stay on your skins.
Yeah. You don't want to get up in the Metallica space where it's like, you know, you can't talk about the vocals and you can't talk about the drums and.
But to be fair, can Lars really talk? You know.
Lars can look. I don't know. We won't talk about
Lars can barely play drums. Okay, let's be real.
I didn't say it.
I don't want to say it. He's not like he can play, but he's just not good enough to be in a band like fucking Metallica.
Well, to be fair, hey, we're all sitting in our bedrooms.
Exactly.
And he's selling our stadiums.
Lars isn't even the best. Lars isn't even the best drummer in Metallica. Let's
he's also I read.
But he's got a good business mind. So
and he came from a wealthy family too, from what I read. Which like.
Well, there you go. That goes back to our earlier point, right?
South Park said it best when they brought out the Napster episode. Poor Lars, he won't get to have his gold-plated toilet. He'll have to poop on a normal toilet. He won't have his gold-plated toilet.
Look, I stand by the fact. I will die on this hill. Metallica were right about Napster. They just handled it the wrong way.
Yes. They told everyone.
I know it's not all my time.
You weren't a live champ.
No, look, the song, the Weird Al song, "Don't Download This Song." Yeah. That's all my education I have on the topic. But funny as hell, how are you going to afford another solid gold card?
Yeah,
I can't remember the actual lyric, but you know, that's anyway. Very
Man,
well, that's it because they got artists, musicians, and bands got derided for saying, you know, downloading music is going to be a problem, and then that led to iTunes and Spotify and you know, streaming, and
people not making any
money.
They
were right. They were right.
Yeah, but the problem is they were right, but they're still making all the monies.
They're still the
they were right. They were right, but the problem is they were right about what it would do. But they're wrong about who it was going to do it to.
Yes.
It didn't kill things for them. It killed things for everyone that was coming after.
Yeah, exactly. They were already stuck.
Yeah.
Like if they said to all instead of going, "Hey, I'm not going to get paid," if they turned around and said, "Y'all aren't going to get paid," everyone might have been like, "Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not."
But that's it.
Yeah,
At the
well,
time,
yeah.
they did think they were going to stop. They did think it was going to impact them, which is part of the thing. But
to be fair, South Park,
the
you were a little
labels-
bit of a
yeah.
problem on that doing that episode because we didn't find out we were all going to get stuff until Lars didn't get his on toilet that year.
Yeah. anyway, look, let's take this one home. Thank you so much for spending a couple of hours talking with us tonight. We really, really
You
do
guys are
appreciate
awesome.
it.
I love you so much. So
We
much.
know that it's not easy. Time's at a premium for everyone these days, and you know, we really, really appreciate you guys taking a couple of hours to chill out with us tonight.
Well,
And
thanks
we
for
were
having
able
us.
to get
It's fun.
we were able to get you guys back on. We're sorry it took so long to get you guys
That's
back on
okay.
here and get an episode that people can actually hear.
Perfect timing though, because the new song comes out. So all these
Yep.
things happen for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Work-
So as we said, the new song's going to be out on all the platforms. So go and look it up. ViperSnatch, all one word. Go and look it up. Listen to the new song. What's it called?
Witchcraft Baby.
Witchcraft Baby. Go
Baby.
and look at Witchcraft Baby by ViperSnatch on all the things. Go and follow ViperSnatch on all of the socials. Go and do all that stuff. If you're in Brisbane or the Gold Coast, keep an eye out for those shows coming up on the 26th in Brisbane and the 27th on the Gold Coast. Head over to the social media. It's going to have all of the info on there.
Yep.
And I will see you guys down there. I'll get a photo. Have you guys got shirts at the moment?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll get myself, as long as you got them in big fella sizes, then I'll be able to.
Don't you worry about that, my friend. We'll get the boy.
And a medium one that I can send some cash up to Raf for, and he can send you one.
Yeah, I'll
I've got
sort
to be
you out.
repping one.
I'll
I've got to rep
I'll sort you out. We'll get that one for sure. But yeah, so come on down to those shows. That'll be awesome. As I said, go and listen to the song. If you stopped at the podcast before to go and listen to it again once we're finished.
Thank you.
And
Listen again and again and again.
and Is there anything else? Is there anything else you guys want to shout out before we wrap this up?
I think just like thanks for having us, and thank you to everyone that listens to us and gives us any attention. Thank you. We're just having a real good time, and we just love it.
That's
humble as shit. That's some humble
Awesome.
shit right there. I love it. No, I love it.
We
I love
love
it.
playing live. It's like the funnest shit ever. Even though
we fell over the last 2
oh, they fell over.
Separately, though,
whilst playing live.
previous show I fell over, and the time before that Lily fell over, but I made fun of her, so that was my karma for that. So
I don't think I've ever fallen over on stage, but I have fallen over in rehearsals a couple of times. So yeah. Anyway, yes. Thank you very, very much to ViperSnatch for jumping on here. Thank you to my co-host Kyle, aka Beer Buddy. Thank you to
Raph.
everybody who's tuned in and watched this episode. I'm the Reverend Raph. We'll catch you all next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.